initiated. Below that was a signature, Officer K, Holstead Enforcement Division. It would have been terrifying if it hadn't been written on the back of a grocery store receipt. My dad just laughed when I showed him the note. She's not even on the HOA board. HOA disbanded years ago. She's enforcing rules from a rulebook she wrote herself. The next morning, I heard the shrill chirp of a whistle, not the pleasant kind like at a Little League game, but an aggressive one. I peeked out just in time to see Karen marching up our driveway, clipboard in hand, measuring tape on her belt, like she was about to inspect the perimeter of a military base. She wore mirrored aviators and a smug expression, as if she hadn't been challenged since the Reagan administration. My dad, unbothered, was in the garage sorting through boxes of 4th of July decorations. Karen marched up to him and started listing code violations. Our mailbox was 2.3 inches too low, the lawn had drought patches, and he hadn't submitted a color harmony form for the flower beds. My dad blinked, nodded once, and said, "You done?" She twitched, not used to being ignored. "I'll be back with the citation," she hissed. That night, my dad parked on the curb on purpose. The next day, things exploded. He left to grab donuts, humming along to Led Zeppelin when Karen pulled up behind him in a gray SUV with flashing lights duct taped to the dashboard. She had gone full cop cosplay, pulling him over right on Magnolia Lane, in front of old Mrs. Vasquez's house. According to 3 different neighbors, Karen stormed out holding a megaphone, shouting, "Step out of the vehicle." This is an HOA security intervention. My dad, confused but calm, rolled down his window and asked if she was serious. She screamed about reckless endangerment and non-compliant window tint before trying to drag him out of the car. But my dad had spent 25 years as sheriff of this county and didn't take kindly to being manhandled by someone whose idea of law enforcement was watching crime documentaries at 1.5x speed. So he let her zip tie him, just to see how far she'd go. "I figured it'd be funnier if she hung herself with her own rope," he told me later, lying on the couch with an ice pack on his shoulder. The whole thing would have stayed neighborhood gossip if Deputy Danny Martinez hadn't shown up. She rolled up as Karen was radioing into her command center, which was actually just her husband, Greg, sitting in a foldable chair with a walkie-talkie. Danny took one look at the scene, paused, then slowly stepped out of her cruiser like she was trying not to scare a wild animal. Karen pointed at Danny and shouted, "Back up, good, arrest this man. He's resisting HOA compliance orders." Danny blinked, looked down at my dad lying calmly on the grass with zip ties and powdered sugar on his shirt, and said, "Karen, what the hell is going on?" Karen launched into a 10-minute monologue about how my dad had violated multiple neighborhood statutes and endangered children with his street parking. She even tried to hand Danny a ticket she'd printed on pastel paper with Comic Sans. Danny didn't say much. She just cut the zip ties with a utility knife, helped my dad up, and turned to Karen. "Karen, this is Sheriff Rick Turner, retired consultant to the county sheriff's department, which means he technically outranks me," she said. "Which means?" She let the sentence hang. Karen's face drained of color, then went red, then purple. "He parked the wrong way," she said weakly. "There is no HOA," Danny said. "Not a real one. Not anymore. You're not allowed to pull people over, Karen. That's a felony." The neighborhood was never the same after that, but neither was Karen. Even after being exposed, humiliated,